Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Sarah Fenske. Approximately 500,000 adults in Missouri have no high school diploma. In the fall of 2018, the state took action to change that. It opened 4 tuition-free alternative high schools for people over 21. Using federal funding, the state had hired the Metropolitan Employment Rehabilitation Services Goodwill, better known as MERS Goodwill, to establish these 4 Excel centers across the state. The St. Louis Excel Center just graduated 47 students, a big increase from its first class of 6 in the spring. And joining us today to talk about it is Jadee Lauer. She's the director of the St. Louis Excel Center. So Jadee, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we're also joined by Victor Tenn. He's one of the recent 47 graduates. Victor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you.
So you're 31 years old. What led you to sign up for the Excel Center in the first place?
So my wife and I, we were driving back and forth to her job, and we see the billboards for the Excel Center, and it just piqued my interest because at that time I was actually looking to get my diploma or my GED. So when we looked into it, we found out there was an actual high school diploma that I would be getting and actual classes I'd be going to. I was very excited for that.
How had not graduating back when you were a kid, how had that affected your adult life?
So it led me to not getting certain jobs that I wanted. I had just gotten my HVAC certification in October of 2018, and I actually talked to a friend of mine who was working in construction, and he was looking for some apprentices, and he told me that I wouldn't be able to find anything until I get that.
Even though you had this special certification?
Yeah. And I didn't need my high school diploma to go to the program. So I was like, okay, well, now I really need to, get that because this is going to help me get a career in something that I actually like.
How many classes were you short of getting a high school diploma the first time?
I was just 7.5 credits shy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jadee Lauer, is that typical that somebody might just have those few credits keeping them from some pretty big opportunities?
Yes, the average for our students, if they've gone to high school before they come to us, the average number of hours that they come to us with is 10, which means they still need 14, so that's a little bit less than the average. But we have had several students who come to us with just that last year.
And you say if they've gone to high school, do you have some students who are coming in without any high school?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
This is somebody who might have dropped out after 8th grade?
Yes, and so the average of age for our students is about 35, and in our first year we've had several students in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s. We just actually had one of our graduates, and she was 82. So some of those students have come to us without any high school education.
Wow. So tell me about what it's like at the Excel Center. Victor, was this like being back in high school?
No, not really. And that's a good thing. No drama.
Totally.
And a lot of people there are willing to help each other out and ask for help, which I don't know how about high school kids now, but back when I was going, you had a couple people trying to help out, but a lot of people were also not asking for help and not trying to help. So it was a lot better now because we were able to start up study groups after class and sometimes even before class and after school. So if say one person missed something, I go and help tutor, or if I missed a day, I can get someone to help explain what happened the day before, and that helped out a lot.
Jadee, is this more like college where people are sort of selecting the courses they need, or how does it work?
Good question. So the students don't necessarily select all the courses. There's 24 credits that are needed to graduate, and so we look at what credits they come in with. We look at placement tests, and we kind of determine where they start, and then we can't offer every class every term, so sort of the selection changes each term, but we just try to fulfill those needs that they still have. So looking at, what they need and then putting them into the classes that fits their schedule is kind of like college in that they don't have to be there all day. So our students come to us with jobs and family and all these other things they have to balance. So we try to help them fit school into their regular schedule.
And how rigorous is the curriculum?
I think it's very rigorous because it's very much like regular high school, but we have a much faster pace. Our courses are about 9 weeks long. We meet 4 days a week, so the classes are 75 minutes long, and so they're packing a lot in, and so I think it's very rigorous.
Is a diploma the same thing as getting a GED?
Have to be careful how I answer that. I think because a GED is considered an equivalent, that it should be, but I would say there's probably some bias with some employers, and they might look at a GED differently. Not all employers, but some.
Okay.
So,
but it should be indicating the same thing to a future employer?
It should be.
Okay. Now, St. Louis Public Radio reporter Ryan Delaney talked to Amanda McCleary in May, and Amanda said she had tried 2 times over the years to get her GED since dropping out of Vashon High School. Here's what she said about why she dropped out originally.
I had a child real young, so it was either, provide the necessary things that he needed or, finish the education. So, of course, I chose the mother role, and he's now 17 and a father himself.
And she said she found out about the program through word of mouth. She was so excited. She became one of the first students to enroll. And at 33, she graduated last spring. She told St. Louis Public Radio what helped her get across the finish line this time.
I had to get used to it all over again, but I had an amazing support system. My entire family supported me, and so it made it very easy. I wasn't alone in this process. And then you can't leave out the staff at the Excel Center. They are amazing.
And she explained what made her graduation particularly meaningful.
Everything, and the fact that my children are watching me walk across this stage is just was the icing on the cake. It's everything to me.
And that was Amanda McCleary, who graduated last year. Victor, what about your graduation ceremony? Did you have family there?
Yeah, I did. My wife came. My cousins came. It was really great to have them see me walk across the stage. Did
you find yourself getting a little emotional?
Yeah, I was mostly nervous. I was telling my wife, after I gave Jadee my card, I was just on autopilot. So I walked across the stage. I don't even remember what happened while I was up there. But yeah, when I got down, my wife greeted me, and then I kind of came back.
Jadee, that's got to just be a wonderful day to watch these people who've worked so hard earn this certificate or this diploma. What's going through your mind as you're watching somebody like Victor walk across that stage?
Just the impact that the school is having on not only the students but then their families, and it's very emotional for me. I get really choked up talking about it, but I love watching the students see their success, watch all that hard work, because Victor, you can speak to this, but the students, it's hard. It's hard to balance children and work and school and be on all the time at school, and so it's really great to see their, just how it impacts them.
Victor, what was the biggest challenge for you in getting to that point where you could cross that stage?
So for me personally, it was my depression and anxiety that I dealt with. I had 2 losses last year, and that really wrecked me, and I had to take some time off of work, and for a couple months I wasn't working or anything, and then we found out about the Excel Center, and then that being at the Excel Center, it was a second home for me, and all the staff, the students, they all kept me they kept me sane, and they made it seem like it was worthwhile for what I was doing.
Jadee, what kind of help is the staff providing to help people keep their head in the game even when things might be just going crazy and terrible in their personal life?
Well, every student has an assigned life coach, and that is probably the number one person for all of our students that they go to. That person listens to everything, helps them try to overcome barriers if they have those, so that they can make it to school. If something occurs and they can't get to school, that's the person they call typically. But I would say that the teachers are super supportive and try to work really hard with the students if they have missed. And I think the whole staff works really hard to help the students feel success.
And after people have graduated, is there anything that the staff continues to do to help them figure out that next step?
Yes. So our goal is not just to have them get that high school diploma, but we're also hoping that they can get a certification, or we can help them into college if that's their next step. And so we have a college and career readiness counselor that kind of works with students to go through that process. And then that person also is going to follow the students a year after graduation. So reaching out to them and making sure that everything's still going well. And for students that we've had that have graduated that haven't really found jobs yet, we're trying to give those people a call and see if we can get them in and help them find that job.
And I understand you also have free childcare for the students. That's amazing.
Yeah, so typically the barriers are transportation. The biggest barriers, I should say, are transportation and childcare. And so we offer transportation assistance for those who qualify, and then we also have the on-site childcare center. So that's really helpful.
I can see why you're getting so many people across that stage. It's just so exciting to hear about. So Jadee Lauer, director of the St. Louis Excel Center, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And Excel Center graduate Victor Tenn, congratulations again. This is an even bigger deal than I think we realized, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.
St. Louis Public Radio's The Gateway gives you the day's news first thing every weekday morning. From the ever-evolving relationship between St. Louis City and County to developments in the Missouri and Illinois state capitals and reports from our correspondents in Rolla and the Metro East. We put it all in a roughly 10-minute package with clarity and context. Download The Gateway wherever you get podcasts.